This spring, the deadliest creatures in the universe will meet their match. Each other.
Alien. Predator. Marine. Danger. Warning. Destroyed.
3 hunters. 1 universe. You decide who will survive. Aliens vs. Predator. Only for your PC from Fox Interactive.
All personnel must evacuate.
So yes, that's right, this week we are looking at AVP 1999, aka the original release of Aliens vs Predator, albeit the Gold Edition, ported and playing on the original Xbox. That's right, original Xbox. For many of us, this was the reason that we actually got a 3DFX card back in the day, because we wanted to get absolutely terrified, and let me tell you, Rebellion did one hell of a job with this one. A title that really made us feel like we were in Aliens. That's right, the second movie of the quadrilogy, or the official quadrilogy. And let me tell you, damn, what a good time it was.
That's right, we will indeed be checking out AVP, the game, the PC release, working on the original Xbox. That's right, you probably never thought the day would come. I certainly never thought the day would come. And, so let's see if it's actually as scary as we remember, and how well does it work on the original Xbox. Let's take a look.
So here it is. We are playing, first of all, straight off the bat, the single player as the Colonial Marine. Because let's face it, it's the one reason we purchased this game. We wanted to feel like we were the Marine, and you absolutely can be that in this title. Let me tell you, it's absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look.
Warning, intruder alert. All personnel must evacuate.
Now, if this isn't a blast in the past for most of you, then I will be absolutely gobsmacked. This really was one, like I said, that got us grabbing those 3DFX cards, because, oh my god, we wanted to be terrified. We all, let's face it, had watched these horror films from such a young age, although we probably shouldn't have done, but who gives a damn, we did, and we love our parents for that, you cannot deny. But as you can see, the strobe effects are here, the atmospheric sound is here. Yeah, we've been transported into the alien universe. Now this is in LV-246, you are in a research area, and yes, as you can imagine, you do get attacked by Xenos pretty much straight off the bat. As I said, pretty much within a couple minutes of the game, you are already taking on those Xenos. Now obviously, with the real dark atmospheric lighting you're seeing right here, it really does make for that horrifying dread feeling playing this game, because they could literally be around any corner. Yes, you've got your trusty pulse rifle. Yes, you've got the flares anti-spread, and you've got a grenade launcher. But yes, it does feel like they really will still take you down, because they can at any point. Now, the other thing you'll probably notice is the fact you've obviously got the motion tracker. Yes, the motion tracker actually, I feel, for me, made it feel that much more terrifying, because you just hear it beeping. You do not know where they're coming from until sometimes it is just too late. I think that's what makes this game so damn good. It is a mix of fantastic sound design, stuff that you can clearly see has been taken straight from the movies, and then mixed it with dark lighting, and that just sense of dread builds up within your stomach to the point where you are that damn terrified. Yes, as you can see, this game does actually suffer from a few bugs. Now, I don't actually remember ever really being like that in the PC version, but this port does seem to have that. Now, I could be wrong, maybe it did exist, maybe the aliens did get hung up on walls every now and again, but I only seem to have noticed it since playing this version. Now, the game does take you into some very familiar territory. Yes, you go into the derelict ship where the space jockey is. That's right, this game is essentially a all-out fan fest. These types of games just don't really exist anymore. You get these games that are meant to be for fans, they never really feel like they've been made by the fans. They've been basically half-baked to make some money, whereas this actually feels like this was made by the fans, and they really looked into the source material here to see what would terrify us. Now, for me, the alien kind of portion of this game doesn't feel all that great to me. You are protecting the hive, but for me, I just don't like the look of it. I don't like the style. Yeah, it plays pretty damn well, and you can kind of kill people by slashing them with their tail or, you know, with your claws or whatever, but for me, I just don't like it. It just doesn't have that feel that AVP 2010 did with the kind of trophy kills. It actually felt a little bit more gory, put you a little bit more on edge, and for me, this just doesn't hit the nail on the head. The Predator does a better job. There we go. Does that not feel a little bit more impressive? Yes, you've got the heat vision. Yes, you've got the different ways of killing, the different weaponry, your pulse cannon, or whatever you want to call it. It just feels that so much more rewarding. Whereas with the Alien, it's just a couple bits of slashing, etc. But when you're the Predator, it just feels that much more badass, if that makes sense. You've got your trophy kills that actually feel like you've been rewarded for killing someone. I mean, Christ, we've taken a Marine's head off. That really is what AVP should be all about. It's an adult game, and, you know, the Predator kills for me, Predator storyline, yeah, although it's not as great as the Colonial Marines one. Don't get me wrong, the Colonial Marines one really is where it's at, it's where the main focus is. But when you're playing as the Predator, it does feel a little bit more involved. I kind of like it. It does give the ethos of the Predator and what the Predator was actually doing. How did it get mixed up into all this, etc. Whereas the Alien was just a little bit more boring and almost a little bit predictable. Now, this is the thing when we talk about AVP, is just the fact that you really are getting the nostalgia of the original. I'd say original 1 or 2 films, obviously more Aliens than it is Alien, and it just feels like you're there, doesn't it? You are on LV-426 as a single soldier, because let's face it, you're not really coming across anyone else, because most of them are in pieces, mainly because it's either Xenos or the Predators who have absolutely cleared house. Now, the game, as I said, really just, it sets the tone. I mean, you've got the dark colours, the dark corners, where an Alien or Predator could be hiding. Yes, sometimes they're in plain sight, but they certainly aren't always. You can be going through hallways where it is pitch black, unless you use night vision or flares. So it again keeps you guessing, gives you that element of terror, but a lot of games, they just can't replicate. Yes, Alien Trilogy did it very well for the time, but AVP 1999 for me is where it really got started. Now what you're probably saying is, well, does this actually play well with the gamepad instead of keyboard and mouse? Yes, it actually plays pretty damn solid. Now you wouldn't really expect it. You'd expect it to kind of be all over the place, but it feels almost a little bit stabilised. So yeah, it works well with the gamepad. The other thing you've probably noticed already is the, I'll call it the PS1 textures. Now what I mean by that is the fact that a lot of the textures feel a little bit distorted. Now I'm talking about scenery, the actual models look absolutely fine, the characters, etc. They don't seem to have an issue. It's more flooring, it's, well yeah, more flooring or ceiling or whatever than it is anything else. It just looks a little bit distorted, which is a little bit weird. Now you're probably also saying, can you play multiplayer? Yes, you can! Now you can obviously do this via TCP/IP. The other cool thing you can actually do is there is also the skirmish mode. Now I love a good skirmish mode. I love horde mode in any games, and I actually think this played pretty damn well. Yes, it is just hordes and hordes of enemies essentially attacking you, but you know, that doesn't make it any much more worse. I actually pretty damn enjoyed this. There's so many different changes, different things you can do to it. Enjoy it. I'd say give it a go. Now yes, all I would really say is you should absolutely go and play this. If you've got a original Xbox and you've got a way to play this, I have obviously attached a link on how you can do that, or essentially the download file so you can play it. Obviously you've got to have essentially a Xbox which will allow you to play downloads. There's a certain way of doing it anyway. I'm not going to go into too many details, but you can do it as I've done right here. Now I hope you like this nice look at AVP Gold Edition playing on the original Xbox. That's right, original Xbox. Like, comment and subscribe. And leave me a little comment if you'd like to see some more Xbox titles that have been ported to the original Xbox. That's right. Al signing out.